All right, we are now live. It's like one little button and then everything goes green. This is my favorite time because you see the participants like roll over, like what is it? The Price is Right wheel. It just like keeps going, or a hamster wheel, and the numbers keep pouncing up there. So we're going to give it a little bit of time so we can have everyone log in and get situated. We have a great conversation this week. We have so many good friends that have given their time to us to talk about their section of hotel beds. We've done receptives, we've talked to domestic operators, you know, and this go around, we're just focusing on hotel beds. And what I love about that is there's so many different avenues that we can work with and talk about. Give us some leeway as you log in. You're going to see a lot of faces because everyone specializes in something different. We are covering all areas of North America. We're covering all disciplines of hotel beds, from sales to marketing and global partnerships to sourcing hotels and beyond the bed, and sourcing attractions and cruises and extras. So we have a lot of information to cover. Look at that, Joe. You're already getting call outs from Alfredo Gonzalez. I mean, really.
I saw that.
Yeah. As always, talk to us in the chat. Tell us where you're coming in from. And we're excited to see you and talk to you and answer your questions. Also, if you could, if you do have specific questions, we're going to try to look at them in the chat box. But if you could put them in Q&A so we can kind of keep everything there, and we'll get through as many questions as we can today. There is definitely a lot to cover. And we're going to do a nice broad overview that Hotelbeds has put together for us to kind of give us an idea of where they are in the landscape right now. But they've also been nice enough to offer to come back and do a follow-up for specific regions or specific disciplines. So be sure to let us know how you feel about that. We'll schedule a follow-up, break into meeting rooms and talk specifically about just beyond the beds, or just hotels in the Northeast, or just hotels in the West. So we are really looking forward to today, and I'm going to do a quick introduction of everyone, which is not going to be quick because we have a ton of people on here, but we're going to go quick because we want to get to your questions. And first I'm going to start with, this is like my Brady Bunch box. So to my left, I'm going to start with Aline. Introduce yourself and kind of tell us what your focus is.
Sure. So hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. Thank you, Sherry, for the invite. So I'm Aline Magalhaes. I'm the area yield manager, and I focus on Northeast, so Northeast US. I do work closely with the second person that is in charge of New York City, but I handle everything else outside New York for the whole Northeast, but I'm also able to answer any questions you guys might have about New York.
Perfect. Thank you so much for giving up your time and being here. And Jayne, introduce yourself to everyone.
Hello, everybody. Nice to be here. Thank you for the invite. My name's Jayne Stones, and I head up the sourcing for activities and tours for the USA and Canada, along with a team of 3 of us that look after different regions.
Love that you're here. So little note, Jayne, before she started doing Beyond the Beds, and she was a sourcing manager for Hotelbeds, handled Tampa back in the day. We're not going to say how many years ago that is, but that's when Jayne and I first met, when I was at Visit Tampa Bay. So I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Jules, tell us a little bit about you and what area you handle.
Hey everyone, I'm Jules Panelists, and I'm an account manager on the Hotelbeds wholesale team for North America. So I manage some of the largest partners that we have worldwide, focusing on the US, East, and Canada region.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. You're going to get lots of questions today, I have no doubt. Ruben, where are you hailing from, my friend? Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm here from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm the area manager for the Southeast, overseeing great cities like Atlanta and New Orleans. So really just looking forward to having a conversation today. Love
it. Thank you. For the record, Ruben handled Tampa back in the day as well, and that's when he and I first met. He worked for another company, so I mean, there was one, but yeah. Roberta, tell us a little bit about your focus.
I am the area youth manager for the Southwest. I'm based in LA, Los Angeles. I look for, I have California, Nevada, Utah, national parks for the West Coast. And that's it. I'm based in LA and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the invite.
We're glad you're here. That's it. I am on the West Coast. I handle this and this and this and this, but that's all. That's all I do. Phil, we're going to come up to the top on my screen. So Phil, tell us about what you look at this.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I never had anything to do with Tampa, so I don't know if we've worked together before, Sherry, but I'm Jayne's partner in crime at Hotelbeds based here in Orlando. I'm head of sourcing for the theme parks and the cruise division, which is due to expand very, very soon. So yeah, a lot of familiar names already seeing in the participant list there. So thanks for having us.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here. And everybody shifted on my screen. Oh no, Bill, tell us a little bit about you.
Good morning, everybody. Great to see some names popping up in chat. But I am the regional director over on the West Coast. I work alongside Renata. She'll tell you about herself in her time. We split the West Coast, and I take care of Canada and Hawaii. And so my team does all the sourcing as far as hotel room sourcing for those regions.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And Renata, your partner in crime, go ahead and let us know about you.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Renata. I'm the regional manager for, as Bill said, the Southwest region. I always say that the West is the best. So I have Roberta with me as well. She works in my team. We overlook Arizona, California, Nevada, and Utah. Glad to be here and see some familiar names here as well. Thank you for the invite.
So glad you're here. Thank you so much. I think we have a little infighting going on within the company right now, east to west, north, beyond the beds. We love it. Do you? Alice.
I think, yeah, that's my opportunity to give a shout out to the East then.
Exactly.
in the same, whatever, Bill. In the same way as Bill and Renata oversee the sourcing for the West Coast, I cover the Southeast. So you've got the state of Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, and the Carolinas. So really pleased to be here today. Certainly thankful for all the time. And yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for being here and helping me get this set up, my friend. And last but certainly not least, the gentleman who got like tons of shout outs that says he's looking good on screen. Joseph, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Alfredo, for that. Very kind of you. Yes, my name is Joe Scheller. I'm the head of Global Destination Marketing for Hotelbeds. I reside in beautiful, sunny Orlando, Florida, East Coast. Yeah, everything is going great here. Sherry, big thank you to you. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces. My WhatsApp and cell phone's blowing up right now. So, you know, things, I traveled a lot. I really missed the trade shows. So nice to reconnect with everyone. And what we do in my department is we develop strategic destination marketing campaigns for tourism boards, CVBs, to help educate and drive incremental tourism from any source market they desire into their destination. And of course, right now, the big focus is domestic.
And you know what? I think that's what everybody wants to hear about. So we're going to jump right in. We have a short presentation just to kind of give you a broad overview, and then we're going to jump into Q&A. So I'm going to turn it over to Ruben.
Perfect. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen first and foremost. Should smooth transition. Screen 2. All right. Does everybody see my screen now?
You got it.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. So just again, I'm Ruben, the area manager for the Southeast. Before we kick this off, I'd like to make an announcement, everybody, that we're actually giving a prize away. And it's going to be for the person that has the best hairstylist or the best beard during COVID. So if you happen to actually get a haircut and couldn't wait under the COVID circumstances, you're automatically disqualified. All right. Just kidding. But now that I have your attention, let's get this started. All right. So moving on. So Hotelbeds, we're known to be a global partner. Worldwide, we currently work with 60,000 travel distributors around the world. 40% of our bookings are for at least 6 days. 60% of our end consumers come from international markets. The lead time on average is 55 days. And typically our customers book spend 2 times more within your hotels. So global presence with some really good stats. These stats, as you notice, were pre-COVID. During this presentation, we'll let you know where we currently stand under the circumstances. So again, this is pre-COVID stats, but we'll get into currently where we stand as of now. So moving on, by working with Hotelbeds, you automatically gain access to 40 airlines. One of the airlines that I'd like to mention that we partner with is Spirit. And obviously under the circumstances, I'm sure everybody could appreciate that we work with a low-cost carrier like Spirit, because that essentially means when they're saving on the flight, they're spending more on hotels and they're spending more on attractions. So it's only a win-win. 3,500 tour operators in 120 countries. And then lastly, we work with loyalty employees points plans. So I really like that's one that I like essentially because it's a closed group of customers that only has access to it through an OPEG channel. So, you know, rest assured that the great values, the great rates that you're providing us is going to be, you know, under a password protected OPEG channel. So our reach with some of the travel agents and high value customers, this channel continues to be to steadily grow, especially in niche segments such as high-end, long-haul oriented specialty packages. Retail agents work through this on our proprietary password protected platform. And our reach is more than 50,000 travel agents from over 140 markets worldwide. And the volume, 60% of the volume is from FIT rates. So really, really good distribution there. Moving on to something I'd like to highlight is our preferred partners. So our preferred partners, how that works is we hand select key partners that we see value in, and in return, those partners give us an exclusive offer. And with this, just to give you a gist of what this represents is essentially 2% of our hotel portfolio participate in this type of program. But with that being said, 2% of that portfolio generates 22% of the room night production in the region. So that's major. So in the gist, you know, our providers give us an exclusive deal, and in return, we give them exclusive market share. So this is a big segment that has driven huge success at Hotelbeds, and we'll continue pushing this moving forward. And this is a #1 key on our road to recovery of getting out of the COVID situation. All right. So with those preferred partners, we're giving you some marketing. I won't go through all these, but some key points that I would like to highlight. Again, working with through our preferred partnership and getting these marketing efforts is listing on our Beds Online Star Collection, inclusion in loyalty campaigns. You know, so especially right now, you want to be included on these campaigns as much as possible. You automatically enter that by partnering with us in a preferred program. Prioritize ranking in our booking engines. And if we were to go down the list of marketing initiatives for this type of program, if sold separately, we're looking at a total monetary cost of $17,000. So, you know, this is something that, you know, isn't just, we're giving out willy-nilly, but essentially this is given to you right off the bat by partnering with us exclusively. All right, so now moving on to some market trends and how we're feeling the current recovery. So first and foremost, domestic recovery. And this is essentially is a no-brainer. First, with the decreased passenger focus of primary destinations, now, you know, we're seeing more domestic focus, you know, more drive-in business picking up than ever before. International, what we're seeing is travel heavily focused on summer 21, so very far in advance where, hopefully we'll be out of the current situation. With that being said, though, we are seeing some shorter term with gateways now reopening. So as the gateways reopen, we're now able to meet the demand that comes with that. Lead time shift to last minute and early bookers. Consumers are looking now more than ever at value across all hotel star ratings. So we're really not discriminating on what star ratings. It's essentially the best value is going to win. Substantial decrease in non-refundables. So, the more flexibility, the better. Nobody wants to be locked into something that they can't get out of, especially when there's a cost involved. And then last, but certainly not least, safety and cleanliness is at the top of hotel bookers. So, under the circumstances, safety is definitely a key factor, whether they're going to book, stay with you or not. So just looking at some more market trends, what we're seeing now, just to highlight, is in 2020 versus 2019, here in the darkest color, 39% of our business is booking secondary and tertiary destinations, versus in 2019 it was about 26%. And this is essentially based on more drive-in market business and less flights being taken. So whether it's restrictions being imposed or people just not feeling safe enough to take a flight, the drive-in business is thriving. And then also potentially concerns over COVID-19 in the larger cities. So again, whether it's something that you feel or you're looking at the media, you probably feel a bit more safer going to these secondary destinations versus the primary larger destinations where COVID seems to be have a mass effect on. So just some more trends to look at. So here on the left, you'll notice the ADR, and ultimately in the dark color is current year versus last year. You'll see in January we were pretty flat. Fast forward to July, you'll see there's a big difference, and ultimately it's because the demand or lack of that has now reflected a need for ADRs to decrease substantially. Lead time, what we're also seeing is a shift of, here in the dark colors up top, in January, 41% of our business was booking about 2 months in advance. Fast forward to July, only 4% of our business is booking 2 months in advance. Again, and that's ultimately because of the uncertainty of the future. Whereas now, kind of in reverse, the guest booking 0 to 3 days in advance is doing well and thriving. So in January, you'll see here that only 14% of the business was booked within 0 to 3 days. Fast forward to July, 42% of our business was booked within 0 to 3 days. So you want to make sure that the lead time has as minimal restrictions as possible. We have lead time, possible day of if you have the manpower to cover that, because that's essentially what our demand is warranting. And then the average stay, we're also seeing a shift in one-night bookers. So here in January, we saw 17% of the bookings being one-night stays. Fast forward to July, 30% of the bookings are now one-night stays. So again, if you take nothing more from this, make sure you're priced properly, lead time as short as possible, 0 day if possible, and then the average stay, let's not discriminate and try to put as few restrictions as possible during the average stays. All right, moving on to safety and cleanliness. This is a huge push from Hotelbeds and what we're seeing and being requested from our customers. 76% of our current hotels booked are safe to stay. And they meet the 5 American Hotels and Lodging Association's safe to stay guidelines. So things like requiring face mask coverings, requesting contactless room service, things like that is key for these bookers these days. So you'll see in January, for the current year, 56% of the bookings versus same time last year, 46%. Fast forward to July, you'll see a wider gap, and 66% of our bookings have to meet the safe to stay requirements. And here's a graph showing safe to stay searches in Google. And as you can see, from all the way back in July 2019, fast forward to June 20th, 2020, that is a huge search in Google, and we could all assume why. So just wrapping this up, how we're fueling our recovery is number one, domestic focused portfolios. So just, feeding where the demand is currently, and then obviously, less restrictions. Increased flexibility. So on both ends, we want to make sure that we're as flexible as possible and moving and changing under the circumstances. Recovery promotional campaigns. So we have a lot of campaigns going out targeting specifically, who's currently booking you guys, where the drive-in business is from, and putting a campaign behind that. We want to make sure that you're increasing your competitiveness. So whether it's coming to us and asking us, what is my comp set doing to get the market share? Am I in line? Are you simply utilizing some of our tools to adjust accordingly? You want to make sure that you're increasing your competitiveness. We just touched on increased safety with the safe to stay measures. We have a lot of new self-service tools that allows you to make changes on your own versus constantly asking, your direct manager for some changes. We now have some newly really good developed tools that allow you to make some of those changes on your own. Co-op destination marketing, and then certainly not least, keeping you informed with what's going on, throughout this and beyond that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Joe Scheller. He's the head of marketing. So Joe.
All right. Thank you very much, Ruben. And I'm going to share my screen now. All right. There we go. And let's talk some destination marketing. First, thank you everyone again for joining this call with us. And so at Destination Marketing, this department, we have a global team. And our job is essentially to work with tourism boards. And what we do is offer them very unique marketing solutions to help navigate that highly fragmented B2B landscape that is currently existing. So we'll go over a little bit about the who, the why, the how of how we do destination marketing. And I'll be sort of quick because I do have a quick video I made with some of our tourism board partners globally regarding the COVID-19 pandemic, message of hope, inspiration. So I definitely want to get to that as well. As you see here, we partner with currently about 60 tourism boards globally. Of course, you'll recognize a lot of these tourism boards here. And just as important is our partnerships with the European Tour Operators Association, US Travel, USTOA, the WTTC. I'm actually fortunate enough to be a member on the COVID-19 Recovery Task Force. We've been working hard for about the last 4 or 5 months with the WTTC, and then of course PATA. So we have backing from all of these great organizations, some unbelievable connections, a lot of hard work being done, tying together government, the private and public entities with travel and with some clear messaging. So let's talk about why do people partner with Hotelbeds Destination Marketing. We have a couple fundamental things that we're trying to do for destinations. Some of these have changed, of course, with COVID. But first and foremost, we want to increase incremental room nights and packs into your destination. Normally, we focus on a low and shoulder season. Low and shoulder season is pretty much out the window globally. Because of COVID, a lot of it's based on travel restrictions right now and consumer confidence. We normally, again, attract more international tourists to your destination. But like I mentioned earlier with Sherry, the shift has definitely been towards domestic or very regional international. We want to extend visitor stay in your destination, pretty explanatory. The more someone stays, the more money they're going to spend in the destination. Of course, increase awareness to that fragmented B2B so we can target certain demographics. And we want to educate the travel trade, and we want to promote a sustainable tourism approach. What does that mean? That means let's stop having destinations rely on 3 or 4 source markets. We produce so much from a global level that we might see trends in another new up-and-coming source market that we want to start focusing on because of if there is a geopolitical issue, if there is some kind of political climate that changes, right? We want to make sure that that destination has other source markets that they've been focusing on and kind of building up those emerging markets. So how do we operate our campaigns? How does a campaign work? And if I'm speaking quickly, I apologize. I'm trying to get through this pretty quickly here. So first and foremost, Hotelbeds has unbelievable business intelligence. All the decisions we make for our marketing campaigns are based on all of the data that we have, right? So we identify best source markets, best timelines. Number two is what we do is we figure out where are we going to promote the destination, right? So we have a lot of different proprietary platforms. The ones we focus in on the most are bedsonline.com, which is for travel agents, and then hotelbeds.com, which is for our airline, credit card, point redemption, employee benefit clients. Probably the most important part next is what we do is we get our local sourcing teams in that destination to get promotional rates for our clients in those source markets that the tourism board is trying to attract. And our sourcing team does an unbelievable job, especially in the Americas, especially US, on getting those great rates, working hand in hand with the hotels and also the B2B team, working with activities to get rates. And then, of course, we have our local sales teams. They promote the campaign, they promote these rates, they promote the destination to all of their top clients. Everything we do, of course, is done to produce incremental tourism. Your KPIs become our KPIs, and everything, we're very high on ROI reporting because we know the climate. Every dollar you spend as a tourism board, there has to be incremental increases. We know it's tougher and tougher for a DMO, a tourism board, to get funding. So we want to make sure that your superiors know that every dollar you invest in hotel beds is a dollar well spent and will bring in that incremental total economic value. So how are we fueling the recovery with destination marketing? Really interesting initiatives going on right now. We've kind of changed our business model a little bit. So normally pre-COVID, we'd work with, you know, maybe one destination and do a large scale campaign for them. And the cost was always higher because we were focusing on that one destination. So what we're doing now, we had a lot of talk with leadership and we said, listen, we know what the CVBs are going through in the United States. They're funded on room night tax, room nights are down. There's been mass layoffs. I'm sure everyone on this call knows someone that's been laid off from a tourism board, from a CVB. So we said, we got to drop the prices. We have to make it a co-op effort where the tourism boards are working together. And then we also have to do incredibly flexible invoicing. So these are the measures we took. Right now, next in October, we're launching campaigns with Travel South and Visit California. November, we're going to be focusing on the Northeast destinations in Florida. And then come December, we're going to start something with the Texas destinations. So essentially what we're doing, instead of focusing on, let's say, Dallas, Texas, we're going to approach all the destinations in Texas. So these are true co-ops. Some international things we have going on, Aruba, Korea, Geneva, Australia, Panama, a lot of destinations in the Middle East, Japan, Canada co-op. So what we're seeing though is just in the international markets, same as the US markets, you know, it's mostly domestic, maybe a few neighboring regional source markets that they want to attract to. You know, it's good because from my standpoint, we're starting to see a lot of activity again in the recovery efforts. And this is the most important thing to us. And, you know, I've never felt such a sense of camaraderie and unionship between the different tourism boards, and this is on a global level, that may have been competing for passengers at one time, now working together in these co-op atmospheres. So, yeah, I think that the travel industry is an incredible resilient industry, and I think we're going to come back hopefully sooner than some people are estimating. But that's pretty much it for me. Any questions, please, during the questions Q&A session later, let me know. And I did have a video. It's about a 2-minute video. I think I'm going to play it. Okay, this was something we did because I think it has a lot of destinations in it that you guys are familiar with, and I think it's a great message. So I'm going to play this real quick. Hello, I'm Joe Scheller, Hotelbeds Destination Marketing. The following is a message of hope, well-being, and inspiration from our destination partners located around the world.
Hi, I'm Jamie Loken.
My name is Mark Thompson.
Hola, my name is Susana Maris.
Hi, I'm Lauren Salisbury. Hello, my name is David Cater.
Hi, my name is Casey Kluber.
Hello, my name is Rosemary Payne.
My name is Josephine Ball.
Hi there, I am Marcus Wong.
Hello, my name is Fabio Lister.
My name is Lisa Cage.
Hello, my name is Chris Meyer.
Hello, my name is Alex Robinson.
Hello, my name is Nora Ritif.
Hola, my name is Jenny Ortiz.
Good morning, I'm Daniel Schwartz. Hi, I'm Santiago Corrado.
Hello, my name is Ronella Chinashu Cruz.
Hello, my name is Naoto Ise.
My name is David.
Hi, I'm Billy Mullen.
Hi everyone, my name is Susan Philippus.
Hello, my name is Elliot Ferguson.
My name is Wendy Justo.
We know the world is going through difficult times, and we wanted to reach out to the global travel trade community
To let you know that we are all in this together.
From the hundreds of nationalities and cultures that call Dubai, this incredible city of modernity, history, and tolerance, home.
From our sparkling river walk, thrilling roller coasters, and historic Ybor City's human culture.
From the lush rainforest, glowing byways, and pristine beaches of Puerto Rico.
From Seoul, South Korea, a city full of modern and traditional attractions.
From our tropical rainforests, amazing biodiversity, and white sand beaches.
From the friendly faces of Great Britain.
From Washington, D.C.'s amazing free arts and cultural institutions, iconic skyline, and diverse neighborhoods.
To our hotel partners, with our airline and our attraction partners.
To our operators,
travel agencies, and credit card point redemption partners to know
that when the time is right, we will be ready.
And most important, we're with you all the way.
We are with you all the way.
We are with you all the way.
We are with you all the way.
So, from the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, and most importantly, through the recovery process, know that at Hotelbeds, we are with you all the way. All right, so next it's my honor to introduce you to Phil White. Phil is the head of sourcing for cruise and theme parks for Beyond the Bed. So let's get this over to Phil White here. Okay. That's strange.
Yeah, Phil, if you're having trouble, you should just be able to share your screen now. You should have control.
Sure. I shall go ahead and do that. Okay, thank you, Joe, and what a great video, great feel-good video there that you've got going on. So I'm sure most of you will know who Beyond the Bed is and how we fit into the Hotelbeds family, but just very, very briefly. So we, with the non-accommodation side of the business, so where we manage all of our tours and activities worldwide, our transfers, car rental products, and a new cruise product as well. So, you know, we have something like 18,000 different activities worldwide across 130 odd different countries. And of course, this includes the major theme parks as well. And our strategy within Beyond the Bed has always been to really tap in and leverage that huge distribution that Hotelbeds has. So you saw from Ruben's slide earlier on how much of a global reach we have. Who are already selling our accommodation products. So this was an ideal opportunity to extend additional products to those clients so that they could sell, earn additional profits and sell additional products to their customers as well. So, you know, we know that something like 60% of tours and activities, for example, are purchased in destination. So we want to really try and kind of capture a bigger share of that. And I think given the COVID situation, you know, there's even more of a need or an opportunity for us to do that and get that share of the wallet much earlier on. So that's a brief introduction of who we are as Hotelbeds. And I'm now going to hand you over to Jayne. And Jayne will talk to you a little bit about some of the stuff that we've been doing in response to the coronavirus.
Hi everyone, hi again.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the trends that we're currently seeing with the activities and tours side of things. From the beginning of this, we've always looked at domestic recovery first with all those quarantine restrictions in place and limited travel. We focused on domestic recovery first, and we've been very lucky in the fact that we've got a very strong bed bank client base. So in collaboration with our Beyond the Bed sales team, we've been able to have webinars with our clients and push out the product to domestic. And we've also seen, as the bed bank side said, the secondary destinations are becoming very popular because of the drive market. So we've also concentrated our sourcing efforts in those destinations. Another thing we see is an increased demand for outdoor activities and private tours. People want to be in smaller groups while they're out on an experience. Lead time at the moment is, we're seeing limited bookings for 2020. And when I speak to the partners, I believe that this is something that we are seeing across the board. So we're looking, it seems that more guests are actually booking directly when they're in destination because, you know, there's no one knows what's open, no one knows, you know, where we'll be in a few weeks' time. So we're seeing a much smaller lead time, but we are seeing some recovery for the summer of 2021. Technology is a major focus for us right now. With reduced capacities in attractions and having contactless, we need barcodes, QR codes on vouchers. We're continuing to push to have more platforms in place like Resdes, Fair Harbors, Boken, Redeem, just to name a few, but we are pushing for that constantly. And then we need to create a confidence for people to travel. So we're talking to partners about trying to put some early booking promos in place for 2021. And we're also looking to have flexible service dates. So if there is a booking and someone cannot make that date that they've actually booked because no one knows when a destination's reopening, it would be great to discuss some flexibility on being able to use those vouchers at a later date. Our major focus, as with everyone else, is safety and cleanliness as a top priority. And we've had a lot of communication about these things, and Phil's got some great examples of how this has been done with theme parks.
Yeah, I mean, just very quickly, when this first happened, of course, you know, the need to get information out to clients and to the end guest was paramount, and this information was changing very, very quickly all of the time. So, you know, we really learned a lot from the last 6 months in being able to communicate very quickly to our customers and for them to reach out to the end customer. And equally now, as we've seen, you know, we're starting to see there may be certain protocols that are being put in place that guests need to be aware of before they come to the destination. Even in the case, say with theme parks, for example, where you not only have a ticket, but you also need to make a reservation for the day in which you want to go to the parks. So people aren't just showing up at the parks and having to be turned away. So there's this big need in order to get information to customers early on, and really again through the way in which we've managed the COVID pandemic, we've been able to work with our partners to make sure that we have accurate information that we need. If we need to gather information from guests to provide you beforehand, we've been able to do that. Any particular legal terms or terms and conditions or disclaimers, that kind of stuff that needs to be covered at the point of sale, we've reacted very quickly to be able to make that available. So, you know, very much a two-way conversation, and to us, it's really all about the partnership and you having the confidence that, you know, if something needs to get out there quickly or if something needs to change, then we're here to help support and facilitate that for you.
All right, with that.
So, oh, sorry, okay, so leading on from the fact that we need cleanliness and safety to be our top priority, we have also had Safe to Stay just launched with Beyond the Bed. So you, as partners, you will have received a questionnaire from us. These guidelines are provided by the World Health Organization and the World Travel Tourism Council. So by being part of this program, the services will display as the following COVID-19 health and safety protocols across all distribution channels. So when one of the 60,000 travel distributors performs a search in our booking engines, they'll be able to identify the safe to stay services. So what we want you to do is, this was launched on August 24th. So you should have received this survey from us. If any of you haven't, then please reach out to us as suppliers. We've had a 30% response rate on it, but we want you to be identified as a safe to stay service. So if you can fill that in for us and get it back to us, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Awesome. That was a lot of information and really good information. So I've already received a couple of text messages myself asking if that deck's going to be available and if we can share it. I'm assuming the answer is yes. I see heads nodding. Perfect. So we'll make sure on our key takeaways that that deck is definitely shared. I also love the fact that we had tons of questions coming in throughout the entire presentation. And we had so many people that could just log in and answer the questions, so we don't even have to do it live, which is great. But certainly if you do have questions, now's the time that we can answer any of those outstanding questions you have. And a few have come in already to me. One of them that came in ahead of time was, what does value mean for hotel beds? And it can mean a ton of different things. You know, we've seen after 9/11 and oil spills and everything else that's happened in the world, very savvy travelers, value wins out. But what does value mean in the hotel beds world? And what has, I guess, booked better than other types? Anyone can jump on and answer that question.
Yeah, I think I'll say a couple of things here. I mean, in terms of value, we know it's a very, very price-driven marketplace at the moment. So where previously we may have seen some successes in doing value adds, you know, free breakfast, resort fees, this, that, and the other, and left the standalone rate the same, I think now is the point where we really need to drill down and get more aggressive on the actual price point. For certain markets, the UK in particular, you know, resort fees is something they're extremely sensitive to. So anytime we can remove that is obviously helpful. But I think that the core of what we need is that aggressive lead-in price point. I don't know if Bill, Renata, anybody else wants to add to that?
No, I think oddly enough, you and I, when putting this deck together, Alice, we discussed that topic itself. So I think you just spoke about exactly what I would say.
I think I would just add as well that oftentimes or traditionally with value comes restrictions, and customers are more expecting flexibility now. So I think they will see value, you know, just as much about the price, but being able to modify or you know, loosen some of the restrictions that may previously have been in place around cancellation charges and that kind of stuff.
Wonderful. Okay. And another question that has come in, and this certainly from Amy at the Florida Aquarium, really curious as to, can you bundle accommodations with tours and attractions? And are you encouraging more bundling? I know, Jayne, you mentioned that they were doing some direct buy when they got into the destination, but at this particular time, is the bundle more important and being pushed harder?
The challenge is as it's two separate systems still, so you have your bed bank system and you have your activities system, the two can't be bundled together. Now, that would be fantastic. It's something that I want, something that I've asked for many, many years, and I'm sure the hotel people will agree with me. But at the moment, we just have limitations with the system. I mean, the best that it does at the moment is on the placement of our website. Once someone say, just book a hotel in Tampa, it will give you recommended things to do. So, and another good thing is Hotelbeds is a one-stop shop. So you can buy your hotel room and you can buy your activity. But again, unfortunately, it means that two separate systems.
Yeah, and I think really what we have to remember is we don't sell really bundles or packages. We sell components so that our customers can bundle and package, right? So that's really, it's one level downstream that the bundling and packaging happens. Yeah, so right to our customers.
It'd just be nice to have that opaque pricing though, so that whereby we could put that good priced hotel room with that, you know, a negotiated rate of an attraction. That's unfortunate that at the moment, because they're two separate things, we can't take the advantage of that. So, but I hope it will come one day.
One day, it will come one day, but it's good to know how that's going to work. And then Estella from Fort Worth wants to know how she can participate in the Texas promotion for December, Joseph. Is that as easy as emailing you?
Hello, yes, Estella from Fort Worth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you, Estella? Good to hear from you. Absolutely, yeah. Well, Alan and myself will be reaching out to all the Texas destinations, probably within the next week or two, letting you know the campaign specifics, timelines, and of course, it'll follow the same format as the other co-op campaigns we're doing across the country, domestic and low buy-ins, very flexible payment options, and the spirit is almost like recover now, pay later. Right, we understand what's happening financially with the CVBs across the U.S. But Estella, you'd be one of the first person I reach out to in Texas. Have no fear.
I'm sure she is very happy to hear that. So one of the questions that I got in a little bit earlier was specifically about secondary destinations, and if that was something that you saw an increase in. You've answered that. So the secondary part of that is, are you looking for more product in those secondary cities? So are you sourcing more product there? And if so, how do they get that information in front of you?
So we would love to source more activities that would complement the hotel portfolios for sure. So I would be happy for them to reach out to me directly if you want to give my contact details, and then we can share them out between the team and we can reach out to you.
Perfect. We will absolutely do that. What about on the hotel side?
Definitely. Sherry, if you don't mind passing on the information afterwards, we have regionals and managers from each segment, Northeast, Southeast, Southwest, and West Coast, but without a doubt, we're always looking for new product.
I will absolutely share that without question. So another question that came in specifically about API. We talked a little bit about API, but do you have your own API, or do you use another? Are you looking into getting your own? How does that work?
So are we talking activities here?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's start activities first.
Okay. It's in discussion. They're things that we've been pushing for a while. And to be honest, we've come a long way over the last couple of years, and especially with the challenges that we're having right now, we know that we have to have these technologies and these platforms in place. So we're putting a major focus on it. Phil, do you have anything to add to it?
Sorry, yeah, no, absolutely. No, I think, as Jayne mentioned, technology is a running theme, and the good thing is, as an organization, of course, the last 6 months, we've gone through a lot of changes and had to review a lot of projects and costs and all of that kind of stuff. But, technology has remained at the forefront of, how we need to position ourselves for the future. So, yeah, and I think we'll continue to hear about this in the coming months.
Perfect. And on the hotel side?
It's slightly different on our side. Yes, we're compatible with most channel managers. We're connected at the global chain level. So yeah, but what we do find still is there's a need in many cases for still a static FIT contract. And we've just changed the way we source, not how we buy, but the structure in which we sit to buy. And so we have really a lot more eyeballs looking at secondary, tertiary. So to put that out there, number one, and then we're compatible with all the channel management companies and stuff that make it more efficient to work with us.
Perfect. No, that's great. So we're going to go back to marketing for a minute, and Lisa has a question, Joe, about how do you get started with a co-op campaign, and are you able to provide the destination you currently featured with a product within that destination? So kind of drill down into the destination with certain products within it. Can you do that on your co-ops that you're offering?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have to remember every campaign we do is tailor-made for the destination. Different destinations are going to have completely different needs, different demographics that they want to target. So one of the great things about partnering with us for a destination marketing campaign is the accessibility to the data we have. We have, being, the largest B2B travel distributor in the world, we have very, very valuable data that we're more than happy to share with you guys once we enter a partnership, because at the end of the day, this is data you need to make marketing decisions. So we're very happy to share that. And everything is 100% tailor-made. So whatever your needs are, the process kind of works. How do you engage with that? You can joe.scheller@hotelbeds.com. Shoot me an email or through Sherry. We can have a deep dive into your destination. We can take a look about strategy. And then from there, we build out a plan. We talk about launch dates, markets, lead times, demographics you want to hit, clients you want to hit. And then from there, we kind of hit go. And one thing that's nice about working with us from a marketing standpoint, yes, it is destination marketing. Yes, there is digital marketing, and not too many B2B travel distributors. Actually, I think we're probably the only one globally that has a large enough B2B digital booking platform, right? That is powerful enough that we can engage digital marketing from a B2B perspective. And so that's what we do. And it is marketing. It is newsletters, webinars, workshops. But what it is also, it's business development, right? So we're engaging sourcing, we're engaging sales, we're engaging clients to start booking into this destination. We'll take a look at a competitive set destination. We have clients booking in there. Why aren't they booking into your destination? Let's really engage them with marketing. So yeah, please reach out to me. I'd be more than interested to do a deep dive and talk some strategy with you.
Perfect. And on that lines, talking about markets that are recovering, Angie has a great question. Are there source markets internationally or domestically for that point? Let's talk about both of them that are recovering more quickly from a booking standpoint. Anything pop out?
Yeah, so what we're seeing, and I'll just focus on the U.S. right now because of the travel restrictions that are in place. So we can just focus on domestic for this point of view. I know internationally there is a lot of things happening. A bubble tourism, they're calling it, in Asia, in the APAC with New Zealand, Australia. A lot of it's based off consumer confidence and government relations, right? So it's the trust between government relations. You see that now with Canada and the US, right? So what we're seeing is drive, short flight right now, right? So consumer confidence is building as far as getting on an airplane for an hour or two, right? This is good. Getting in a car, driving to a destination. Most destinations we're seeing now, unfortunately, aren't the big city traditional destinations that we see get a lot of volume. They're more spacious destinations. If we take a look at California, there's some destinations in California right now that their numbers over the last 3 months are almost 100% above what they were last year. And this is when we're talking about these spacious national park destinations. But we are seeing a lot of domestic short and long drive, and we're seeing it across the country. So if I was to say Northeast is moving more than West Coast, that wouldn't necessarily be true because we are seeing it US-wide, which is great.
Perfect. I love that. Bill, it looked like you were going to say something before. Now I'm just putting you on the spot.
No. Jill ended up saying it for me.
Perfect. You know what? I love that. So one of the other questions, we talked about trust, we talked about consumer sentiment, and you've talked about your Safe to Stay program. And that's been sent out to everyone, but are there specifics that you're looking for on the Safe to Stay that we could send out to everyone so they can have an idea of what they need to make sure they're covering? Is that something you share?
Yeah, absolutely. So from a marketing perspective, which I think you're referring to, Sherry, we're actually, if you're a destination in the state of Florida, we'll be contacting you. Same with Texas, same with California. So we have a pretty good database and a lot of contacts between me and my team and relationships through the sourcing team. So rest assured that we will be getting in touch with you in the very near future. You know, especially the Northeast campaign. I know Letizia from DC has just sent me an email with that. You know, we're going to be getting in contact with all of our former partners, new partners, because we want them engaged in these recovery campaigns.
Perfect, thank you.
And from the client side, just one thing to add there for Safe to Stay, a lot of clients are looking at this information and absorbing it and passing it on then to their consumers, because the hot topic today is really just cleanliness. And if you are willing to travel and you are comfortable doing that, we want to make sure that the health standards are on par and safe for all parties involved, staff and guests. So it is really great information to make sure that you're sharing with us so we can get shared with our customers then.
I love that. And Amy just did a shout out that said she's completed the form. It's quick and easy and painless and everybody should do it. So thank you, Amy, for that. I knew this was going to go fast. I knew we were just jumping into questions, but we only have 3 minutes left. So as I mentioned, we can do a follow-up with this. Let us know if you're interested. We can do a follow-up and break up into regions and different areas. But before we go, does anyone have any last words of wisdom? Anything that you want to share about what's going on, what Hotelbeds is doing as recovery, or how any of our attendees that have logged in today can interact with you? Go ahead, Bill.
I just think it's going to take, you know, it's going to take all of us to get this recovery going. And I think that, you know, and we only have so much money to spend because of the problems that we've been through. So if you're going to, you know, back a customer, make sure that that's the right one, number one, and make sure they're doing things to help with recovery. I think that we've had a lot of good ideas, and we showed them today. So if there's any further information you need, please do reach out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Jayne, Phil, from Beyond the Bed, do you have any last words of wisdom?
No, I would just say, please feel free to reach out to us as well. I mean, it's great to be in communication with everybody all the time. I'm happy to even set up Zoom calls with people. I love to hear the feedback and, you know, and what everyone is seeing as the trends. So just keep in touch and we're always here.
That is music to everyone's ears. Thank you. And Joe, any last words of wisdom from the marketing side?
No, just a thank you for everyone for joining the call. Thank you to all my colleagues, great colleagues. I think, you know, the sourcing team and the sales teams in the Americas are fantastic. You know, some of the most engaged across the globe. So just want to thank them and thank everyone on the call, and stay safe and, you know, do a little traveling if you can too.
Exactly. We're all in this business and we are dying to see each other in person, not a doubt. So Bill had some last words of wisdom from the West Coast, but not to, you know, pit West against East. But what do you think? Alice, Ruben, you have any last words of wisdom there?
Yeah, so let me kick it off before Bill takes over. No, so I mean, you know, we're just growing tremendously in the Southeast. We're seeing a huge demand when it comes to drive-in markets. You know, for example, we just got back on board one of our preferred partners in Fort Walton, and it's doing quite well. You know, people probably aren't familiar with Fort Walton, but it's a small city that, because it's kind of not the primary destination and it's essentially safe to stay, we're seeing a tremendous business from that. So, you know, guys, we're here for you, even outside of the primary New Orleans and Atlanta destinations. You know, there's really demand for some of those driving business that typically wouldn't have seen it outside of these circumstances. So we're really taking advantage of that. So just contact us directly. You know, one size doesn't fit all. So whether that's partnering with us for the first time, looking at a potential preferred partnership, or getting involved in a marketing campaign, I do think there's truly something for everybody.
If I just
go ahead, Renata.
Sorry, if I just add to that, as from what Ruben has said as well, is like for the West Coast, we have seen a lot of the business going to California coast, Vegas as well is a driving. Unfortunately, we have the fire here in California now, when people in Vegas are stating that they are seeing those fires from there. So I think the message really is like, we are here for you. We try to be very creative to see where is the demand, what we can do for you. And if there is no demand, how can we be proactive and understand, you know, the next steps where we can help you. So feel free to contact us. Thank you for inviting us to be here. It's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for sharing an hour with us, a little over an hour now, I'm sorry, but thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing information. There is no doubt that I'm going to share everybody's contact to all of our attendees on the call and the deck that we've had. Obviously, this is recorded, so you can share that out with your teams. And I know that all of our panelists are going to be here to answer your questions and direct you to the correct person to work with. So get in touch with us, let us know what you need, and we are definitely here for you, and we will all recover stronger together, to echo Bill's words there. So thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll be back next week to see you again. Have a good one.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.